Okay, so Monday has rolled around once again, and it recently came to my attention that another YouTube channel has made a comparison between SH Monsters and HIYA's evolved Godzilla figures. And normally I wouldn't make such a response so directly, but this time it was different. For the sake of their privacy purposes, I will not name said channel. I am including the thumbnail in my thumbnail, so if you know, you know. And please, 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 do not go out and hunt down the YouTubers and harass them, because it helps no one. That harassing people helps no one. This video is enough, so please do not do that. And if by some miracle the YouTuber finds this video, please do not make a follow-up. I kind of don't want to get into controversy so early in my career. This video is not in bad faith. I'm not attacking this YouTuber just because. I just want to point out some details that I don't feel too comfortable with. No more delay, let's get into it. So this YouTube channel, as I stated, made a video comparing the figures I stated previously. And I'm all open to opinion. I love hearing people's different opinions on things I think about. But the main reason why I'm making this video is because I'm gonna rip off the band right now. Not only does this video consist purely of dogging on SH, but they pass it off as saying that HIYA is factually better in every way. Yeah. I will thank them for stating that everyone has their own opinions and preferences. But the biggest thing that sticks out is the word factually. And in every way. So let's get into the reason this person thinks this way and why it's wrong. The main points I want to point out is movie accuracy, which is painting and sculpting, articulation and joints, and price. 1. Movie accuracy, aka painting and sculpting. They say that the HIYA figure is more movie accurate compared to the SH figure in terms of sculpt. Normally you would think that this is a standard statement to say due to past releases, but not in this case. I said it before and I'll probably say it again, but the SH Monster's Evolved Godzilla is actually more movie accurate compared to the HIYA Toys movie model. I don't know why people think the opposite opinion when it's very obvious. So I'm going to point out some problems with the HIYA's sculpt that are just major drawbacks to it. And one, it's the most obvious one. The chest. The chest is way too big. Everyone and their mother has pointed this out, but it's an actual genuine concern. Sorry about that. So yeah, the chest is way too big than it should be. That it's way too big, and not only that, it makes the pelvis region look way too small, giving the figure somewhat of a P shape, as opposed to the 8 shape it's supposed to have. The movie model has. And just looking at it right now, it just looks off. There's just something really wrong about it. Before, I was like, yeah, this figure still looks good. But once they revealed the SH and fixed that problem, they did it. I can't unsee it now. I really can't. Another thing is someone else has noted that the spines on the back are smaller than they should be. Yeah, they are actually smaller than they should be. So, yeah, that's a fun thing to note out. And another thing, here it is. That is the Thagomizer on the end of the tail. Granted, we have, this is literally the only image where we can actually see the Thagomizer on the end of the tail. I don't know why they have not actually shown the Thagomizer itself. But yeah, that's it. That looks small. That doesn't look right. It looks way smaller than it should be, so. Yeah. Alright, so. Now talking about some of the criticisms that the SH figure was given by said YouTuber. And it's that his arms are too short, his head is too big, and I think maybe something about the chest, I don't remember. But I want to talk about the biggest points is that the arms and the head. The arms and the head. The chest is perfect, so there's just like nothing with it. It has the H-ball effect, and a lot of people think that Godzilla, like, like out of his chest in this movie. No, he just got really slimmed down in this movie. Slimmed down and more muscle. It's just evenly disputed throughout the body. So when it comes to this figure, that SH figure, it captures that a lot better than the HIYA figure. And also looking at the other problems with shorter arms and bigger head, yeah, his head is bigger in the movie. His head grows. So that's false. And also the arms are the exact same length as compared to the HIYA when talking about proportions to the figure. And actually, in fact, in some shots, the SH Monster Arts' arms looks longer than the HIYA figure. The reason why they look more stumpy, they're more muscular, but they are the exact same length. But I also want to end the statement by saying movie accuracy does not always mean better. So just whenever you're talking about movie accuracy and which is better, it could be a plus, but it does not always mean better, okay? Next, the painting. I will say it, I've said it once and I'll say it again. The SH has more movie accurate painting. Now, hold on, I may have to explain myself a little bit. In the video, they state that Godzilla in the movie is brown. No, he's not. This is not true. It's no debate that the most popular scenes in the movie is the Egypt fight, Gibraltar, and the Colosseum. In those scenes, Godzilla does appear to look more dirty, and that's due to these regions. These regions in real life are known to be hotter. So what we're seeing is just a heat filter to show the difference in climate between different parts of the world. But if you go back and look at Godzilla in Hollow Earth, Rio, and Antarctica, he looks on par with the SH figure. Now looking at the paint, there's some big things that pop out. One, the SH's paint is exactly what it is. It's grayer. It's more grayer. There is some hints of green, and yes, Godzilla is green. He's always been green in the MonsterVerse. It's very hard to tell, but he has always been green. He's always been like a grayish green. He's never been brown. He's been gray sometimes, depending on how you look at it, but he's always technically been grayish, like grayish green. He's never been brown. So SH Monsters captures that perfectly. Then we go to the HIYA, which you could definitely tell there's a lot more overall painting going on. But having more is not always better. For example, whenever you have more painting, you tend to probably may have sloppier painting, and that could end up hiding details, which is bad. That's bad. You don't want to hide details. You don't want to hide the amount of work you put into this figure sculpt. And yeah, that could happen. But it's not like it matters anyway, because we were revealed what this figure actually looks like in real life with an actual IRL image. Like right here. That's the HIYA figure. That looks bad. Looking at the spines look dead. They look unpainted. Looking at the torso and just the body, it does not have that rich, dusty, sandy brown that it originally had in those promotional images. Looking at the face, his face is dead. Completely dead, no emotion in there. So yeah. Did they lie to us? Maybe. So, looking at these two practically, the SH will pass off as a more movie accurate figure. Is that correction? Moving to articulation and joints, this part may be shorter except for one part. It's no surprise that SH has had more overall articulation, although they have had the unfortunate routes that articulation gives you. Sometimes your copy of the figure may feel less sturdy than others. I will give HIYA this. They have been pretty consistent with their figure, especially when it comes to sturdiness. And so, whichever you prefer, your take will probably lean more towards opinion. there's no avoiding it. There's no avoiding it. Personally, I'm willing to take the risk when it comes to SH and its articulation because I have experience and I have learned how to properly deal with loose joints, so it doesn't bother me. And hey, when the articulation works, it feels so good. I'm gonna blow your minds here. Hey, what? Watch this. Boom. I'm using a headphone mic for this, but I'm gonna show you this. This is the SHMA Final Wars Godzilla figure. A figure notorious, I can't really see, a figure notorious for falling apart due to weak joints. I haven't really had that problem with this figure. There are some weak joints, but overall, I'm shaking it violently right now. Yeah, nothing. The only thing that moved was the tail. I got really lucky with my copy of that figure, because my copy is actually really sturdy, and is one of my favorite figures. Alright. So the less is more statement is not always true all the time. But what really sticks out to me when it comes to this section is something that mildly infuriates me. This may be the most heated part of the video. I'll make it more heated later. It may because of it. Because they make a false accusation. So, the accusation. We all know that this figure has been in display for a couple days now. Somewhere, I don't remember where. And as you can see here, I've talked about both of them two previous times. I've talked about the first image on the left. I talked about the video image you see on the right. And just seeing all that, you can definitely tell one big thing. The change in posture. There's a complete change in posture here. One is more upright, one is in a more crouched position. But the false accusation comes from saying that the reason why Godzilla's in the slouched position in the second image is because of weak joints making him slump over into that position overnight. You could probably tell my reaction when I heard that. I have done extensive research. I've done research on this. I've looked on the internet, I've looked everywhere. I cannot find a single bit of evidence that says this. I have never also heard of an SH monster just purely slumping over due to weak joints. I've never heard anything like that. That's probably because it's never happened and it didn't happen here. I'm about to prove why it didn't happen here. The figure did not slump over. One, look at the right image. You see the leg. And now look at the foot. The difference between the shin and the foot is that shin guard right there. That is a gap filler. It's classy. You see that all the time on SH figures. Now look at the image on the left and see that gap filler. It's in a more sturdy position. So if the figure slumped over, then that thing defied gravity. Because that's not how gravity works. As you can see, for that to happen, the ankle thing would have to move up, back, and down. Yeah, up, back, and down. That's not how that works. That's not how gravity works. So that's not true. Another point is looking at the bottoms of the feet. There's some sort of sticky glue here. Probably some temporary glue on the bottom of their feet to keep them secured to the base. Now look at the position that these two are in. Look at the image on the left. It's more towards the middle of the podium that you see there. Now look at the image on the right. That's on the edge of the podium. If it was held down by glue, it would not have moved or slumped over or slid over like that. So that's not true at all. And my third point is just looking at the way these two are positioned differently and how this just wouldn't work. especially due to like seeing the tail. That tail is in the most neutral position it can be to let him, sit back on that tail as much as possible. So if the figure was going to slump over, it would have slumped over backwards and not forward. Because looking at these images, that figure does not look top heavy at all. It looks like it has more. It looks like it has weight at the top. Don't get me wrong, but it does not look top heavy, as opposed to, you know, Mr. HIYA over here. So not only is that accusation completely wrong, it's also feels like it's in bad faith. I don't know why they would make a false accusation like that if you just read between the lines and tell that's BS. What probably happened is one of the people opened up the cabinets and moved it. Now, you may be wondering why there's actually glue on the bottom of their feet. And you may be saying, like, well, that's just there because the figure's going to be less sturdy and it's to keep it in place. Yeah, it is there to keep it in place, but not for the loose joints. The glue is there to keep it so that no, like, idiot kid running around runs into the case and knocks the entire display figures over. That's the reason why they're glued down. So that entire statement was completely false and completely bogus. When I heard that, it made me a little mad because it feels like they were trying to shoot something with a gun that had no bullets inside of it. I'm saying that this is a completely false accusation with no clear proof to back it up. I did my research on it. I did my research on the matter and found nothing. But if I missed anything, please tell me, because I don't know why they would make a false accusation unless it was just for pure ill intent. Anyways, next up, price, and I will give you this one. I have no clue why SH figures are so dang expensive. I think it's due to the type of material. I hear that it's a high quality resin, but I don't know, and I don't have the actual proof to back up my claim. But ignoring all of that, I don't mind the pricing of SH figures due to something you can do. It's called hunting, and it's a useful tool to remember, and it actually works. For example, and we're gonna do this again. How's it going? This right here is the SH Monsters Godzilla 2019 King of the Monsters figure. This figure was a really good figure at the time. Well, it still is a really good figure. It has good joints. It has sturdy, very solid, sturdy joints. I haven't heard any real complaints about things popping off too much on this figure. It's got good painting. It also has accessories, not to mention, and it was a lot cheaper. This figure went for around $90 to $80. Guess how much I got this guy from hunting? I got it for $60. So not only is that pretty much worth what a HIYA is, and then some, $60. A HIYA is normally around like $50 with no accessories. This guy came with accessories, so this was about pretty much worth my money. So there's still things you can do to mitigate the price. You can still do it on HIYA too, but I'm just trying to just say, yeah. So pricing is not as big as an issue as you think. You can still find ways to maneuver around it. So that's all the main points that they stated, and I will round out the video with some more miscellaneous information that they brought up, and starting off by explaining why saying your opinion is factual is wrong, and especially not morally right. Everything they stated in this video is their opinion. They could pass it off as fact as much as they want. It's their opinion. That's what it is. And normally it wouldn't be as much of a problem on an opinionated piece. But they're saying that it isn't, and it's fact. And it's so wrong for one, and it's the biggest issue with saying this. None of us have our hands on these figures yet. It's a well-known fact that a figure is way better in hand than through a screen. And judging about how many people are already excited for the SH Monsters figure, even though they're seeing it through a screen, and it's a prototype, so that you going against majority is probably due to opinion. And I have to reiterate that it's okay to have an opinion, just do not pass it off as fact, because it's not. Some more things that they say is that the entirety of the SH Monsters line is trash. Yeah, the entirety. When they didn't mention that SH probably revealed their best up-and-coming figure, and they will release maybe in history. Sounds like me gloating. Promise you I'm not. I'm of course talking about the SH Monsters Godzilla 1954 poster color repaint version, which will not only make huge improvements to the painting of an already really good existing figure, but also include a lot of accessories with it, and it's priced for $70. Left out that little part, didn't they? Yeah. And that's just recently. SH's best releases and figures far outshine anything that HIYA has ever thought about. Like, even thought about, not even released, just thought of. Not to mention the prototype thing I mentioned earlier. Every single figure they stated in their video has fine printed text on it saying that all figures shown are prototypes, the HIYAs and the SH figures. They even tried to bash on the Shimotes, which that's a tease. It's not the actual figure. Also, while we're on the topic of HIYA images, Shimo's size is also wrong. She's too short. And before you actually people come at me, I know Godzilla is taller than Shimo, but he's not that much taller. It's more like middle of the neck taller. He's like a head taller. Whereas compared to Godzilla, whereas compared to like the HIYA toys Godzilla compared to the HIYA toys Shimo, that's like night and day. There's better images online. In fact, I could probably drag this around and show you. Look at the size difference. Look at that freaking size difference. That's not accurate to the movie at all. Granted, Shimo's size does change all the time in the movie, and it's annoying, but it just doesn't look right. So, which meaning that this figure, the Shimo figure, would probably scale better with the SH figure compared to the HIYA figure. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. The size bit it in the butt this time. So this video may have derailed a little bit and got more negative than I wanted it to be. But I would want to turn this video around and talk about something that I completely agree with them on. And it's fanboys talking about their opinionated sides and saying, if you oppose their side, you're stupid and dumb. I hate that. Saying your opinion is the right opinion isn't the right opinion. Because your opinion doesn't outshine everyone else's opinion. I don't think that their original video was supposed to be so ill-fated as it turned out to be. It may have been just anger by just SH Monsters fans, and I will give you that. Me, personally, I am not an SH Monsters fanboy. I can comfortably say that they have had some really bad releases, and buying an SH Monster Arts is way more of a gamble than buying a HIYA figure. I can comfortably say that. Which, because HIYA is really consistent when it comes to their releases and having consistently good releases. But I don't think think it's right of them. I don't think it's right to stoop down to their level. You can have your own opinion, and that's completely fine. Whether I'm talking about comparing these figures, I'm always open to new opinions. I have a whole series about it, me just hearing new opinions and just trying to see what people are talking about, keeping you up to date. I love hearing different people's thoughts, so don't see this as me saying your opinion is wrong, and I do appreciate that you did clarify that everyone has their own opinions. But please, do not go out there saying that one is factually better than the other, because you don't know what you're talking about. That's about all I got. I tried to leave this off on a happier note, but I don't know if I did, so please tell me. Anyways, I do implore you guys to take these next words into consideration. If you know it, say it with me now. Remember, like what you like, hate what you hate. Just don't be a jerk about it. Salutations, and I'll see you later, y'all.